What's going on, Niner Faithful? Johnny Dell back with another episode of 49ers Playbook, the channel that's trying to answer the whys and hows of the game. Last Sunday, the 49ers were able to take home a win against the Arizona Cardinals in a thrilling last-minute victory. Because most of my reviews have to do with how or why we won or lost a game, in this first episode, we're going to take a look at Jimmy Garoppolo's game-winning drive that was capped off by a 24-yard touchdown pass to Jeff Wilson. Overall, Jimmy played a pretty good game with only two really bad throws. We'll take a look at those in later episodes. For this one, I was really impressed with his handling of the 2-minute offense against what Arizona did. To me, this was much more impressive than the game-winning drive he had 2 years ago against the Tennessee Titans. In the game against the Titans, Tennessee was rather predictable in their coverage. If you saw the NFL Films video on it, you heard Jimmy and his receivers talking about what they were going to do against Tennessee's two-deep defense. On that drive, Tennessee pretty much played cover 2, and he knew who he would hit in succession down the field without worrying too much about the defense changing their call. In this game, Arizona didn't play the same defense in consecutive plays. They ran the gamut of defenses throughout the drive, and Jimmy made the correct read and throw on every single play. It's drives like this that set quarterbacks apart. While Jimmy's game isn't perfect by any means, he's been consistently showing why the 49ers would make him their franchise quarterback and why there is so much belief in him to lead the 49ers on a deep playoff run. So, with all of that, let's jump into the film. The first play is going to set the tone for what we're going to see throughout this drive. Arizona is trying to confuse Jimmy Garoppolo and force the issue. They're coming out showing two deep safeties pre-snap, and without anyone following Coleman out of the backfield, it's going to look like cover 2 zone. We're going to be running a spot concept to the bunch receiver side. The spot concept is a progression read play that changes based off the defense's coverage. The spot concept is made up of a spot route, flat route, and corner route. The corner is usually an alert versus man. It's a progression read inside out versus cover 3 or cover 4 zone, and is a vertical stretch similar to a smash concept versus cover 2 zone. Right as the ball is snapped, the Cardinals rotate their safeties and are going into a cover 3 buzz defense, buzz being a term for backer in the flat. Teams will use the buzz form of cover 3 to help hide their shift in defense, as the safety doesn't aggressively attack the curl flat area, but instead drops down into a hook curl. Jimmy does a good job of recognizing the post-snap rotation of the safeties after handling the shotgun snap, and he moves to his progression read with the spot as number 1. If the Cardinals had stayed in cover 2 zone, he would have looked for a high-low read versus the cloud defender. This is what shows Jimmy recognizes the post-snap change. He sees the spot route open because the buzz defender is responsible for the curl flat area, and the safety is protecting the seam, which can be open due to a late rotation of the high safety. While it seems like a simple 7-yard gain, there's a lot going on this play. This next play is more of an example of how Arizona was trying to do things to confuse Jimmy. Here, they're going to come out and show cover 0 with no deep safety, making it look like an all-out blitz. This is further hidden by Budda Baker following Ross Dwelley across the formation. We're just going to have a wide receiver screen called on this play. Again, really late before the snap, the Cardinals are going to rotate out of this cover 0 look into a fire zone blitz with 3 deep and 3 underneath defenders. Like I said, another example of how they're trying to show different things pre-snap to post-snap to confuse our quarterback. Here, it's nothing about Jimmy making a good read, it's just a good call by Kyle Shanahan, and we execute well for another good gain. On this play, Arizona is going to show cover 2 zone pre-snap, but will play cover 6 post-snap. Yet again, another example of how they are showing one thing pre and changing post. We're going to have a smash concept at the top and run a clearing post from Dwelley with a double in concept to the 3 receiver side. This works well against cover 2 zone, as the middle defender will track the post route from Dwelley and should open up the middle of the field for one of the 2 in routes. Arizona plays this well, and Jimmy gets pressured. He sees the 1 through 3 in his progression are taken away, but there is room up the middle, and he takes off for a good gain. He did have a receiver open in the flat, but with the pressure and the fact that he'd have to make it to his 5th read on the play to get there, I'm okay with the run. The next play, Arizona was showing cover 2 zone pre-snap. I had to go back to the broadcast angle to see their alignment, as the coach's film wasn't able to catch much of the pre-snap movement in the hurry-up offense. But while they show zone pre-snap, very late they're going to shift into cover 2 man. We're going to have a China concept to the bottom and a double post concept to the top. The double post works well against zone, and the China can work well against cover 3 zone or man. So if Arizona stayed in their cover 2 zone, I would have expected Jimmy to work the double post, as it would have put the deep safety in a horizontal stretch. But he's going to see the late shift into man coverage and is going to work the China concept. He's able to make a good throw to Goodwin for a short gain. The next play, Arizona is again going to show cover 2 zone pre-snap. This is one of the few plays where they actually ran what they showed, which is a disguise in itself. They've gone 4 straight plays not running what they're showing, so this is a changeup. And we're going to have a slant flat concept to the bottom with a middle curl and a double slant concept to the top. The thought here is to get in field goal range first, then go for the score. So they're working the short routes. Arizona is thinking the same thing by running cover 2 zone, and they're trying to take away anything short. As Jimmy drops back, the curl is going to occupy the middle defender, and he now makes a key read on the hook defender. He sees the hook move out on the flat and throws a nice pass to Goodwin. The throw is low because he's trying to let Goodwin protect himself from the mic, but Goodwin drops the pass. So with it being 3rd and short, Arizona is going to come out and show a form of cover 2, where it's man coverage with 2 shallow safeties. Again, this is to take away anything short. As Dwelley motions across, it reveals the man coverage, and Arizona is going to again have a late rotation of a safety into cover 1. It's a 6-man rush because the man defender on the running back will blitz if the running back stays into block, which he does. We're going to run a stick concept. Arizona is now trying to force the issue. They're trying to manufacture either a sack or a turnover by rotating a safety late and bringing pressure. As Jimmy drops back, he sees Dwelley has outside leverage on the man defender, and with pressure in his face puts the ball where only Dwelley can catch it, right at the line to gain. While it's only a 3-yard gain, that's about as good as it gets, and it gets a first down. This is another example of how Jimmy isn't getting fooled by anything the Cardinals are trying to do and is throwing strike after strike in the game's most crucial moments. So, with the 49ers now in field goal range, the Cardinals are again going to try and force the issue. This time, they're going to show cover 0 pre-snap. They're actually going to do a really good job manufacturing pressure. You see here that they stack more defenders to the bunch side than the offensive line can block. So this is going to draw a line slide to that side. From the end zone, I'll show what they're going to do. First, they're going to bring their defensive tackle, number 95, with an aiming point in between the guard and the tackle, trying to draw a double team, and the linebacker, number 58, will attack the center's right shoulder. The other defensive tackle is going to attack the outside shoulder of the guard, Laken Tomlinson, and Kilgore is on Chandler Jones. This will create a lane between the center and the guard. They then bring number 43 up the middle to occupy the running back should he stay in to block. Jones is on a peel assignment, meaning if the running back flares out, he peels off his rush to cover the running back. This is the same assignment we've seen Solomon Thomas and Nick Bosa end up covering running backs as well. So you see, we're not the only ones who run it. The trickery of this play is that they're causing a line shift to the left, and what they're going to do is bring Budda Baker on an A-gap blitz to the other side. They've done a really nice job manufacturing pressure here. But we run an old West Coast offense staple, the Texas concept. This is a play that Bill Walsh used to run with Roger Craig all the time. You run a couple clearing routes and get your running back in space over the middle. Jimmy sees the 0 blitz, and all he has to see is the linebacker to that side blitz, and he knows he's going to have Wilson on the Texas route. So now he's just going to throw to a spot where the receiver should be. Jimmy said he couldn't even see Wilson on this play, but he knows it's going to work by what the defense is doing. With insane pressure right in his face, he makes the game-winning throw. While this game wasn't perfect for Jimmy, on the game's most crucial drive, he was perfect. This is why 49ers fans have a lot to be excited about going forward with him as our quarterback. Well, that's it for this episode, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Be ready for more episodes coming out today and tomorrow as we'll look at some more of how Jimmy threw for over 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. We'll also look at how the defense gave up 16 points in the first 24 minutes of the game and what they did to adjust. And we'll even look at Jimmy's 2 interceptions. But until next time, go Niners.